So Brady comes from U of M, but Tom Brady's dad wrote a book about coaching and how he took him from like some third string quarterback to, one of the best, in the NFL. And it was wild. And I was like, damn. And I remember picking up that book and I'm like, oh, I see a lot of like what he was doing, because he was doing that with his son too. Like just the way that he was training him. Like,
I want to end it by asking you, from your perspective, with your experiences, wins, losses, triumphs, whatever. How would you say is the best way that we as a culture should move forward to make sure that the voice of hip hop not only stays strong, but even grows?
hmm. I think we need to have more forums, more town halls, more spaces where people are able to vocalize these issues, local issues. Like I feel like it should be like kind of like the breaking what's it called? The Vanguard, Hip Hop Vanguard is amazing with Asia One. I feel like that could be a perfect platform. People that have like it's Asia One. Like there's people that are like in this community that have went above and beyond, not just because she threw B-Boy Summit, B-Girl Summit and stuff like that, but they've like created a socially conscious platform of like amplifying voice, amplifying that. And I feel like those are the people that we need to really back with this. I mean, I'm 100% behind breaking for gold. I'll say that right now. I think my only question is they just immediately just started putting people on their own people. And that felt counterintuitive to how we should be going about this. I'm not saying that anybody in those positions is wrong. And you could argue left and right about Crackers X's politics and stuff like that. I feel like there is some value to him being there. I don't think he's a shitty person. Just our politics don't align.
Okay.
I disagree with 90% of what comes out of his mouth and how he supports things. And that,
I'm not familiar with. I know who Crackers X is, but I'm
yeah,
not familiar with his politics.
we might as well have been there. I'm not even going to get into it.
Okay,
Whatever.
no doubt. We
He's
don't
very
want
right
him.
wing. He's very right wing with things.
Okay, enough said. Enough
But
said.
I just feel like it's not that he doesn't have value in that space, but look at what happened. He got put on, and everybody vocalized against it. That wouldn't happen if you canvassed the community about who should go into those spaces. I feel like we had no voice in this. If this is what's representing us, then we didn't get a chance to speak about it representing us or those people. And I'm not saying that those people shouldn't be in those spaces. You got El Nino, Box, Taekwon, Crackers X, Omar, right? That I could just think of offhand. All of those people are exactly who. But I think the process of them getting into that space and who and how they got all selected is what, if that continues, that's going to be an issue for us as a community. And that because we won't have, it'll be like almost like you got, everybody always says the break Illuminati. They used to say Max Cross and what's his name over in Europe, Renegade and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I've heard it called the cartel. I've heard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
cartel, we call it the commission out here. They call
Oh,
us the commission, like, Uncle Paul,
no doubt. Right, right, right.
the commission. But yeah, so it's just like, but it's like I don't want those. I don't move that way. I don't think democracy doesn't move that way. I don't think I think understanding some of like the politics and how that could play in shouldn't move that way. And it's an issue if we're not able to vocalize, uh even challenge it. Why did that happen? Why are you getting mad that I'm questioning you for letting that happen? Like that's an issue. Like that would be a point of contention and conversation. I feel like there should be some community canvassing, like as far as like it's the first thing you do, like when you try to like any sort of activism, any sort of change, social justice, activism type things, right? Whether regardless of which side you want it to be, right? Um, you talk to the people. that you want to serve to figure out if what you're doing is actually what they want. And if you are the person to be represented doing that. If you're not doing that, then you're just kind of like speaking on people's behalf because of your own intention and your own method or outcome. Like you want something from it, so you know you can get that by putting yourself in that position. And that gets into like, you know, dictatorship type stuff and everything, you know, and like we don't get a say, we can't question it, we can't have conversation to build. Like I disagree with a lot of people. That don't mean I hate them. Like as long as your politics aren't like actively oppressing and hurting people, I'll hear you out. You know what I mean? Like I can have those conversations and you around and stuff like that. This stuff, I don't know, like it became an issue with like this Ben Hart dude because like a lot of his stuff was like heavy Trump, heavy anti-illegal immigrant type shit and everything. It's like, how am I supposed to share a Cypher with somebody that's like actively calling me illegal? Like, you know what I mean? Or my people, like, cause I'm from here. Like, you know what I mean? But my people, like my family, the kids I teach, their families, like the amount of times I've had to go to court with families, like to help them through immigration issues and stuff like that, to help. Like, you know, it's just been like, how am I supposed to share that Cypher? There's a difference there between like disagreeing on some other politics and stuff like that, especially like this break politics shit. Because at the end of the day, I just kind of step back and I'm just like, none of this affects me. I always say, what you eat don't make me shit. Like, so none of this, because y'all haven't been involved here, right? So why it had to be Detroit versus everybody, since y'all didn't stay, y'all never tried to like connect. We exist on our own. We don't need any outside. We don't need the Olympics. We don't need this. We don't need that. We don't, oh, well, you're gonna be able to make tons of, you know, students and blah, 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 and all this is gonna come from it. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Let's go ask kids about the Olympics. They don't give a shit because you don't talk to them. You don't hear their voice. And yeah, there might be some that'll be down, and then you'll get a bunch of, guess who does care about it? The white kids in the suburbs, because they know the opportunity that could come from it. The kids in the hood don't. They just need something to do. They want something to do before, you know, idle hands move in. So it's like, for me, it's like, well, you're going to make so much money. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I am going to make hand over fist with city contracts because I'm involved with my local politics, because I understand. I work with Detroit Public Schools Community District. And that is us getting inside of places with each school we activate is like a $30,000 to $45,000 contract. I'm never going to see that money through the Olympics, through this connection with the Olympics. That doesn't mean that it's not a great opportunity, but don't try to sell me financially on the Olympics, because that's not it. Because I found other lanes. And no, what I'm speaking French right now to a lot of these people because they don't know. On this side of things, I'm navigating the other things, but I'm constantly telling people, and I'll say this to you, your platform, and everybody that hears this, all this is, I'm willing to send a PDF with everything here. The only thing that's scratched out is my social security number.
Right,
like,
right.
You know, like outside of that, like, you want to learn how to write grants for breaking, to get money to secure for after school programming, for summer programming, for your facility, for whatever the hell you want. 313-675-2018. Like my text, Mavone, or, you know, that text me, call me, email me, put all this stuff on there. That's fine. All of this is an open book I'm willing to share, because that's the same way that Mex came to me with it on that side of things. Right. So that influenced me when I seen that it wasn't about a financial gain. It wasn't about this, because then there's so much out there that we could all eat from. And this is grant work. I barely graduated high school and I'm applying and securing grants. So it's like, how do we as a scene move? How does this voice stay? By us being able to share and build with each other. I feel like the way that kind of went, it was very counterintuitive, counterproductive to a collective voice. You know, again, I fully support it. I share it. I believe in everybody that's there. My problem is just there wasn't this community connection to it. Everybody keeps asking me, like, I know what the hell happened. You know, and so that's what I'm saying is like, I hear it. People are like, who picked them? Well, how did they get that? I don't know. Like, and that's the thing is I haven't talked to them. Like, I want to talk to Omar at least about it and stuff like that, to be like, yo, like, how do we continue with what happened? Everything's got to get in order. They can't sit there and wait on everybody to fucking have an opinion and take, 2 weeks of everybody arguing about, well, is it going to be breakdance or beat breaking? Like, nobody gives a shit, right?
Right.
You know,
Getting
we
caught
all
up on
still
the
worried
small
about
stuff.
that. Like, we've been arguing on that since Pro Board days.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, but can we go forward doing it right? Can we go forward with finding, like, how do we create an entity to collect that voice, to hear these voices, to talk to this community engagement liaison type thing? And I do that title like through like my through the city. That's why they found out that we were needed. This is weird. It became like a conflict of interest, and so I had to step away from it because it was like, oh well, you're just selling yourself. It's like, all right, cool. Like, I'm gonna step away, let somebody else. And then they just heard the same things coming from everybody. We want hip hop dance. We want hip hop programming. We want to make beats. It's like they don't want ballet and like playing board games. They want to create something that they have. So it's that youth voice. As we go forward, to answer that again, is just like, I think really listening to even the smallest person in the scene, the newest person. And sometimes it's, they're gonna say stuff we've heard a billion times. Cool. But then there's, it's always important to hear everybody as much as you can. And that doesn't have to mean that it's like a Zoom meeting with 1,000 people. It's just like, yo, such and such in the Chicago. Can you reach out? Such and like, we know each other. Like, we all know each other. Like, it's like, how can I connect to Phoenix? You know what I mean? Like, I'm connected now through this way. How can Phoenix reach out to Detroit through this, right? Talk to LA. What do they want to see? And obviously, everybody's scenes are going to have different needs and stuff like that. Like,
Right. Different little nuances. Yeah.
Here and there. And then collectively, people will be like, oh, I personally think if you asked everybody in the scene to pick people in those positions, they would pick exactly who's there. I wholeheartedly believe that everybody that's in those positions, maybe not Crackers X. A lot of people don't like it.
Yeah. Little shots fired at Crackers.
Yeah. But he's there. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Hey, he's there.
I'm not mad about it. I'm not about to fight with, argue with them and stuff like that. I listen to a lot of his stuff. I see the value he has. I just don't agree with his politics. And I feel like that might trickle over some things that could get questioned and talked about later. But that's easy to have a conversation. It's not fucking him, overthrow him, blah, 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 this bullshit, break Illuminati, blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, man, it's just like, hey, and maybe his intentions with the breaking stuff completely different from what he does in the breaking.
Outside of it, yeah.
You know what I mean? Outside of this, going to counter and stuff, which is great. But I haven't had a conversation, so can't assume shit, But I just feel like that is probably my biggest thing is like, in order for us to move forward as a scene, as a like collective entity, we just really need to like be better about listening to people, more people collective, like in our scene that have some stake, talk to the stakeholders in the spaces. Who owns the studios? Who throws the jams? All right, you don't got to listen to every b-boy and b-girl out here. Who throws the jams? Start there. Those are people that like create and make things happen. So where are they at? Like, okay, what about the people who throw jams, the people who teach, things like that, like the grant writers, the people in universities who are doing work, on a collegiate level, like work that probably like 150 people, 100 people, throughout the US that I feel like could weigh in on this and should have a voice somewhere.
So Mav, if we want to follow you and what you got going on with the Street Dance Academy, see some more about the Detroit scene, what can we do? How can we follow you?
Instagram. I post a lot on Instagram. I stay real busy on our Instagram. Motor City SDA. So like, Motor City and then SDA. And that's across everything, like our Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that, our website, stuff like that. If you want to see the actual space, this is really cool. So you could go to our website and then we have like this whole 360 tour, digital tour, virtual tour. You can see everything down to like the print on some of the paper.
Well, there it is. Mav1, Motor City Street Dance Academy.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for getting that right, man. Jesus.
Episode, no doubt, episode 31. We out here. Detroit versus everybody. Man, thanks again for coming on the podcast. It was great to meet you a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah. That
saying? Just
was.
walked up on you like, hey man, you Mavone, right? and
Like, this is about to be a
exactly.
battle. Oh, you want to be like,
But again, thanks man for your time. I know you're a busy man. You got your academy, you got your family, you got so many things going on, and just to spend some time with the Beyond the Cypher family is always priceless. So we want to leave you with our traditional greeting of peace.
what up, though?
What up, though? No doubt. Word.
Blue.
For more quality content from Beyond the Cypher with Illskillz, don't forget to press the like and subscribe buttons. Also, feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Beyond the Cypher. Let us know how we're doing down in the comment section, and to make sure you don't miss anything from the channel, smash that notification bell. We appreciate the love and support. Peace. Until the next episode.